Hey guys! So I joined a literary boot camp in July, and I'm here to tell you guys how that went. The literary boot camps are something that are put on by Writer's Digest and hosted by different literary agencies each time, and it's something where you can learn what agents are expecting to see in a query, a synopsis, and your first pages, and get one-on-one time with an agent to answer your questions and even look over your work for personalized feedback. So this boot camp was hosted by the lovely Fuse Literary Agency, and there were 3 agents who worked with us. There was Michelle Richter, Tricia Skinner, and Carlisle Webber. Hello, Moxie. Who introduced herself as Carly Webber at one point, so I'm going to henceforth call her Carly. She was actually the agent that I was assigned to. Fuse Literary has represented all kinds of amazing authors, including everyone from these books and plenty more. Obviously check out their website if you are interested in them. Now, if I'm honest, this was not my first boot camp. This is not my first rodeo, cowboy. This is actually my third. I attended one with KC&A, which was Kimberly Cameron and Associates, and I've attended one with Talcott Notch Agency as well. So this is my third boot camp with Fuse. I kind of knew what to expect, but every time you learn something new, so I'm still really excited to check it out, and this was my first time with my new manuscript with them as well, so that was also exciting. So this was a week-long boot camp, or almost a week. On the first day, you are opened up to videos that you are able to watch that the agents have put together, letting you know what goes into a good query, a good synopsis, and what they're expecting out of the first 10 pages. So already you have tons of information going in. You also, every time you go to a boot camp or do anything with the Writer's Digest, you get an amazing video from Chuck Sambushino as well. I can't remember what this video is called, but I'll put the title right here. But I've seen his video so many times. I've met him in person at the Writer's Digest conference. Love him, he's great. Then on days 2 and 3, they open up a discussion thread so that you can go on, ask your questions, title it however you'd like, and during 1 hour for each of these 2 days, the agent that you are assigned to will go on and answer every single question. These agents got over 270 questions put together, averaging about 90 questions per person for both hours. So 45 questions an hour. They fired off answers so fast. I was amazed. They were extremely professional, extremely helpful in their responses. I loved the discussion thread because you get to not only have your own questions answered, but other people are asking questions that you might not have thought of, that you might also want the answers to, and you can jump on with your own comments to try and get more information from the agent as well, if you have more questions that stemmed from one of their answers, which is pretty cool. Then on day 4, you get to gather up your submission materials and submit them to the agent you're assigned to. For this particular boot camp, we got 10 pages. So you could do anything you want with those 10 pages. You can send the first 10 pages of your manuscript, you can send your query and your manuscript, or maybe you have a 2-page synopsis and then you get the first 7 pages of your manuscript sent, which is what I did. I had the query, the 2-page synopsis, and the first 7 pages. So then the agents have about 2 weeks to go over your submission materials, make comments and specific notes on your materials, on where you need to fix it, what you need to change, and get it back to you. So as far as the pros and cons go, pros, obviously, if you need help with your query, your synopsis, your first few pages, if you need someone to look at this, you want a professional agent, if you're trying to get an agent, this was an amazing resource for that. Plus you get that one-on-one feedback, one-on-one questions directly from a literary agent if you have really specific questions about anything like that, and you get that feedback on your specific project, your specific query, that, she's got inline comments, delete this, change that. If you're looking for that, this was a really cool tool. It's from home, it's only a couple hours a day, and the discussion stays open if you don't have time during that time frame to be there. You can jump on, ask your question, and then read everything later, which I also thought was pretty cool. The only thing that I wished was a little different was in the discussions, they ask you to ask your question and have the agent answer it. And they don't want other authors talking to each other in the discussion thread. They don't want like conversations between people, and I think it just has a lot to do with keeping it nice and neat for the agents so they don't get overwhelmed. But I do wish there was like a writer thread where we could all talk together and meet each other and know each other that like all of these other people who are in the boot camp. So I kind of wish they would change that, but it didn't take away from the experience and the reason that you're really there. So small con compared to the amazing experience. Maybe a second con is that it costs money. It's not free, obviously. It was $199 to get in there, but considering that you get that one-on-one feedback discussions, you can ask them anything you need to, and you get personalized feedback from a literary agent. As far as my personal edits go, I was super excited. My synopsis had almost no notes on it. It was fine, which is amazing. I've worked very hard to get it to where it is, so I was happy about that. My first pages were also really good. She just asked for more information whenever I brought something up that might be new information to the reader. She wanted me to expand on kind of why, give me backstory, give me details, stuff like that, so I know exactly where to fix it. The main reason I joined this bootcamp is because I feel like I need help on my query. Something just doesn't feel right with my query. But she gave me great feedback. She said to delete a whole like B plot line that I had in the query. One of the things they did talk about was that queries should be 275 words, which is very short, very short, much shorter than anyone else that I have talked to. So Fuse Literary, these agents specifically, and probably a lot of other agents, are looking for very short queries, very tight. So I will be working on that as well. So if you're looking to join the bootcamp, they're on writersonlineworkshops.com. Check that out. When I type that in, it gives me an error code. So if you type that into Google and search it, it's like the first one that comes up. That worked better for me. I don't know why. I found out about the bootcamp through, because I'm signed up through Writer's Digest, so they just send me emails of things I might like, and sure enough, they caught me on one of them. Before you guys think that I'm being paid for this, I just thought it was a cool thing that you guys might be considering, and I wanted to bring you this information in case you're like, hey, these bootcamps sound cool, they're really effing expensive though, so has anyone tried this? Does anyone like this? I wanted to make a video for you guys to let you know how I felt about the bootcamp, not only this one, but the past ones as well. I will admit that if you are just starting out, if you're just kind of getting going on your queries, you're just starting to query literary agents, if you're still needing a lot of help on the query synopses and your first pages, this was an amazing tool for you. 100%, if you can afford that, I say go for it, because it opens you up to the agents, it opens you up to the ability to communicate with them on what they're looking for. However, if you're a little bit further along, if you have pretty much polished a lot of your stuff, I don't know if it's the right tool for someone who is a little bit further along in their journey. Maybe you've queried a lot of agents, but if you are having specific issues, you know something's wrong with your first pages, if you know something's wrong with your query, and you need a literary agent to tell you what the heck you're doing wrong, then this was a good tool for that too. If you are looking into joining a bootcamp, I hope this helped you make the decision as to whether or not you wanted to do it. If you have any other questions that are more specific about what I covered, please feel free to ask me down below. I am happy to answer them. I'm here for you guys, and I will see you guys next time. See you later.